Hi everybody, welcome back to Hit or Miss Hallmark Movie Reviews. I'm Daniela.
And I'm John.
And I still have the plague.
She's done.
Keep the home fires burning while our hearts are yearning.
It's okay.
I'm just working through it, but thank you to everyone who's sent me well wishes.
Oh, you got some?
Yes.
Was I one of them?
Much appreciated, yes. I hope everyone is well. We are back with another Spring into Love movie.
Wonderful.
Next up, we have
The Wedding Cottage.
This stars Erin Krakow and Brendan Penny.
So apparently it's Erin Krakow. That's the proper
Krakow.
pronunciation. I got that little tidbit from somebody who posted in the Girls Gone Hallmark Facebook page.
Awesome.
Personally, I like it better when it's more of an action sound, like Krakow. Like,
Yeah, me too, I like that, yeah,
Like
yeah.
the old Batman films. Biff, pow, Krakow.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
You're pretty cool.
Oh, thank you.
Anyways,
Anyway, as you know, we have not been liking Spring into Love this year so far. But things are finally starting to look up. Finally.
All right, so let's get into this one.
What's this one about?
A wedding guide creator must convince an uninspired artist and owner of a special wedding cottage to renovate the rundown cottage to host a contest-winning couple for their dream wedding.
Wow.
Their free dream wedding.
Amazing. So,
What do we think?
okay, so I was excited for this one purely based on the title alone. So we have a wedding, which is always entertaining. You love wedding
Of course.
movies. And then we have a cute, cozy cottage,
It's a good mix.
which is also like the dream to kind of live in for us. So I was really looking forward to this one. I was very excited. And thank goodness the Hallmark gods came to their senses finally. One that I genuinely enjoy. Finally.
Yeah, the Berg sisters to the rescue.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. We finally have some good writing, very good banter between the two leads. I thought they were great together. I loved their chemistry. There was one particular scene where Vanessa is kissing Evan in front of the door of the inn that she's staying in, and like the passion, she was in that moment.
Yeah, that
I
was a
loved
good
it.
one.
So great chemistry. You can just tell when you're watching pros in action. They are among the Hallmark royalty, and it clearly shows on screen.
Yeah, for sure. Two heavy hitters at their best this time.
Yeah, so the story is very simple, it's very straightforward. It includes enough Hallmark charm and familiarity and comfortability, you know, something we really like, but also it has a bit of sass, like mainly from Brendan's character.
Okay, let me put this a little more clearly. The wedding cottage is permanently closed. You understand? You should also probably take us out of your guidebook.
Do you live here?
I live back there, but that's not really any of your business.
Of course not.
Yeah,
Love him.
this is quite a different shade from Mr. Penny,
Yeah.
but it absolutely worked. I've mentioned before that like the bitter curmudgeon character, whether male or female, is like usually used to create a wider arc and make for like a nice reveal at the end.
Yeah.
And boy, oh boy, was there an arc here. Almost too much, maybe?
Oh, you think so?
Well,
see,
I'll get into that after.
I liked that he was annoyed and that it wasn't resolved that quickly. You know, Vanessa was being, you know, a touch annoying, kind of relentless, or maybe even like pestering Evan to renovate and use the cottage. His annoyance didn't last long, but it was the right amount. Do you know what I mean? Like he didn't concede right away, which I really liked. Overall, it was just easy to watch. It was entertaining. The pacing was great. You know, we move along in the story quickly, but it never felt rushed.
Yeah, agreed. I was thoroughly enjoying this one while we were watching it. It was kind of one of those movies you rush back from the kitchen after the commercials for.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, I don't want to miss anything. Why don't we get to performances?
Sure.
So, okay, granted, it took me a while to like both Brendan and Erin. I actually wasn't like a huge fan of either of them before, but then they slowly started to grow on me. I really didn't like Erin in A Cookie Cutter Christmas. Oh my God, I just thought it was so lame that she
I
kept
don't
messing
even
up.
remember her in it.
She kept messing
For
up
some
the
reason,
cookies. She was like a
yeah, I
really
know.
bad cook, and I'm like, really, how hard is that? You know what I mean? But then I saw her with Tyler in It Was Always You, and I loved her in that. I think I just loved them together, and I loved that
For some
story.
reason, I forget her in that as well. For some reason, Erin Krakow just like escapes my mind all the time. And
Oh, really?
and yeah, it's really
She
weird.
was great in that, and Tyler's great in that. That's the one. That one's really touching and a really beautiful story. But Brendan was the standout for me. I liked his character. I liked that he pushed back and he didn't concede right away. I liked that he was an artist. I liked that deep down inside he was a romantic at heart. I just liked seeing him on screen. He was rugged and sexy, and he had that amazing scruff and that salt and pepper hair. Like, loved it.
I've felt the same way about both Penny and Krakow until recently. Brendan Penny grew on me first, I think. I loved him in Nary Measure.
Oh God, he was so good in that. Yeah, I loved that.
I was excited to see him again, and my only complaint is about his character, not his acting, and that was the whole wide character arc they wrote for him.
Yeah, you said that.
Maybe a bit too wide here.
You think so?
He started off super abrasive.
Like too extreme?
Yeah, like too big. Like he started off super abrasive and rude. He basically told Vanessa to f off like multiple times in the first 20 minutes. Then by the last third of the movie, he was basically like following her around like a lost puppy dog.
He was.
Like he was super like, hey, I'm right
Really
here with you.
into her.
It was very cute, but it was real close to being too much.
Okay, all right.
However, this is the first time I've really loved a performance by Erin Krakow. I thought she was cute, funny, and she perfectly encapsulated like the person she was portraying. So she's the standout for me.
Okay, cool.
And like I said before, I can't remember her in other films. Like she's definitely not forgettable at all. Like she has a very recognizable face. But the other thing is we don't watch When Calls the Heart, so we haven't seen her as much.
Yeah. A side character that I wanted to bring up that we both thought was pretty funny was Daryl the contractor.
I'm Larry, this is my brother Daryl, that's my other brother Daryl.
Played by Brent State, who was actually on Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
You're a huge fan of that show, right?
I was, but it's been so long since I watched it, I don't remember him from it.
He had some great comedic moments. I liked that he was just so matter of fact. He has this great scene where he goes to Vanessa, like, you really shouldn't have told the guy that we weren't gonna make any noise. Like, this job requires us to make noise. I thought that was
usually
great.
contracting thing is a little sort of noisy.
Exactly.
Yeah, I really enjoyed him. He seemed like a nice release from tension whenever he was on screen.
Yeah. Another side character was Roland. So our favorite gay British uncle.
Gunkle Roland.
Oh my God. So the actor is actually Vincent Gale.
Oh, Gunkle Vincent.
Gunkle Vincent, yeah. We love seeing him. He's always like a treat.
Yeah, he's great. I don't know if he actually is gay, but he plays so well in Royal Runaway Romance that he's just gay to me now, which is, a good thing.
He plays Evan's art agent. Mind you, it was his fault that Evan believed that Vanessa sold him out to the reporter.
Yeah,
that was strange.
I thought that was actually very believable. It's like
But why? He's making assumptions about her.
Yeah, because he's worried about his money as well. Like,
You're
he's
saying-
being a good manager or a good agent, but it's it requires being sort of a snake.
Well, he blames her for using him, and then says to Evan, you need to go back to Vermont because she's clearly the source of your inspiration if you're sculpting like this.
Even if she is taking advantage of you, he said that. He didn't change his ground on it. He was persistent that Vanessa was using him, and even though it was working out for Evan.
So okay, she's using you, but go back and be with her because you're making the best art of your life.
I thought it was very realistic because that is very
right.
snivelly art agent. If that's the Hallmark version of it.
All right. Why don't we get to Nit Picky, Hit Picky? So a nit.
Nit.
So this is something that you brought up while we were watching it. So Evan's phone etiquette. He seemed to very often hang up before saying goodbye.
One piece is all we need. You've been up there for months. You must have something brewing.
Not even a cup of coffee.
Now, I've noticed this in other TV shows and movies before. Maybe it's an American thing, or maybe it's just a TV thing.
Is it a cultural thing? Do Americans just hang up the phone without saying anything, or is it maybe
I find it weird.
I find it super rude and weird. At least how hard is it to just go bye?
Yeah, he hardly did that, and he was always slightly annoyed or off.
Oh, so
when
there's
he got
definitely
off the phone.
there's definitely two of them. I don't know if there was another one, but
There was two. There was definitely two. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not the kind of publicity we need when we're trying to reboot your career.
It was strange. It was just a strange choice, and it's something I always see, so I always address it.
Yeah.
The couple coming to see the cottage. Okay, so the sole intent was to travel all the way to Vermont to see the cottage where their wedding is going to be held. You think you would be more adamant in seeing it first? I mean, it's the wedding venue, it's the most important aspect, and that's what they want to see the most.
That was kind of stupid. It's not just what they wanted to see the most. It was literally the only reason for them to go out there.
Yeah.
It made no sense. And it was kind of extra rude and snivelly of Brendan's character to suggest that. It's oh, don't worry, I'll avoid it.
Yeah, that was kind of weird because I don't care who you are, you wouldn't stand to be paraded around the town first, even if it was for cake tasting and learning how to dance and all that other nice stuff. Like, I kept thinking, just tell them the cottage needs renovating. Like, what's the big deal?
I know, especially you're dragging, and this is the other thing, you're dragging this guy around with a prosthetic leg. The other thing is, I don't think they revealed that yet.
Yeah,
in the
I wasn't
movie.
too sure.
So it's like maybe they had
maybe
they had a part. It was late revealed, the
Yeah.
leg thing. Maybe there was an earlier part that they had to cut out because it made them seem like extra ass for like carting around this like war vet with a plastic leg.
We'll definitely get to that because it was an interesting aspect of the story. The snowblower scene. Okay, so while I was watching it, I admit it was fun and kind of silly and whatever, but I think it was like borderline annoying to me because it kind of reminded me of like hijinks, like just adding a scene just to be silly.
Yeah,
you know, like it didn't really have a purpose. And are those things really that hard to use?
They
like,
kind of are.
Push
like
you back like that?
One that big would be pretty like powerful,
Really?
especially if you're a skinny girl. I thought that scene was cute, but it was a little unnecessary. But my actual nitpick about it would be like, don't you know those things are loud as like you're basically
talk
trying
about not making noise.
Yeah, you're trying to be like quiet for this guy, and you're like, oh, you're worried about the contractors in the house making noise, and you're gonna go outside and turn on a gas-powered leaf blower.
Yeah, no.
It was very like New York naive, which so it still kind of worked for me. It didn't.
Yeah. I just thought it was weird.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, a hit. I loved the hair, the makeup, and the wardrobe in this one.
Yeah, it's pretty on
especially
point.
for the lead.
I mean, first of all, they cooled up Brendan Penny.
Oh my
He was like
God.
Tyler Hines status.
That scruff, as I mentioned, that scruff, that hair, the salt and pepper, the leather jacket, he was edgy. Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved his whole look. I loved Erin's aesthetic. She was very like prim and proper, but she had like really polished and cute dresses, like polished suits and cute dresses.
I loved the dresses for sure, but there was one she was wearing like a pantsuit with
you
like
even
a
said that out
blazer. I
loud.
was like, yeah, she's pulling off that pantsuit for sure.
Yeah.
It definitely suits her body type and like her face and everything.
Yeah,
It's like,
they both looked great. They both looked great
yeah,
in
it
this.
was excellent. Hit the prosthetic leg thing. I thought it was a nice like reality check on a military subplot. You know,
Definitely.
it's not all glory, so it's like that's a reality.
But then kind of against that is like, didn't they say like he was gonna go serve, I think, right after the wedding? And I wasn't sure if that would be even
Maybe
possible.
serve food to people that are actually
Or just
like,
do admin work, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you can still work
If you're
for the army.
injured, I just don't know if they would actually call you back. Like, I don't know.
I guess not. But on top of that,
I know other people are talking about this. I remember seeing it.
But on top
Facebook.
of that, I'm curious, don't you get to leave the army after losing a leg? It's like, honorably discharged. I thought that would be like a early retirement no-brainer, right?
I don't know
it's
too
like,
much about
why is like we gotta
army.
get our marriage done and wrapped up so I can get back to the army after I lost my leg. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe that's
Let us know in the
more of a
comments.
hit than I think it is.
Let us know in the comments if you guys know.
Yeah.
That follow-up kiss, that was so sweet and very unexpected. It was on the cheek.
Yeah.
But we just don't
Good
usually
follow-up.
see that.
No.
But again, that's something that would normally happen. You'd follow up with either another kiss. or
That kind of goes
hug.
to my point of his arc changing. 'Cause it was like mean guy, and then they kiss, and then it's like immediately he's like, all right, I'm going for another one, and I'll be here
guess
tomorrow morning.
The
Like,
extreme, I know, the extreme, like hate, and then I can't keep my mouth off of you.
but it was nice. On the note of kissing, actually, we're gonna add another mini section to the
We
reviews.
are, yes.
Only the reviews that demand it.
Yes, a kiss counter.
A kiss counter.
I think that would be fun.
I stole this idea from our friend Quirky from the Hallmark Discord server, so thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, the past few years there's been an increase in the amount of on-screen kissing for sure.
Yes.
To some people's dismay, like some of the older fans are like, too much kissing.
Well-
It's not just for the final minute anymore.
And the almost kiss is kind of becoming obsolete as
A
well.
little bit, but that makes it better for the list. I think now it's more
Yeah.
of a thing to find because it's like maybe it'll be like a religious one or something.
So we thought it would just be fun to count the kisses in the movies that had more than just one. Like if we kind of noticed that, oh wow, there's a lot of kissing here. And then we'll tally it up at the end of the season and then we'll see who came up on top.
Yeah, for sure. The only other one I can think of this year that maybe requires a recount is a picture of her.
A picture of her and maybe the Paris one.
Oh yeah, I'm sure people don't know offhand, but maybe if anybody rewatches them, you can give us a
Yeah,
hand
I think this will
with
be fun too.
But how are we gonna count this for the wedding cottage? Like one,
We haven't
two,
figured it out.
like
Count
the
Dracula.
The count.
The count, yeah.
I think that's kind of dumb. How do we do it?
I don't know, just like,
Okay, so the wedding cottage had 1, 2,
2,
3, 4, 5.
5 total. That's a lot of kissing.
That's a lot of kissing.
Yeah.
So the Wedding Cottage is now the one to beat.
Exactly.
Because I do think it had more than both the other ones we were mentioning, but
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if any take it down this year. She's still got boobs.
Sorry, I keep checking my mic. Yeah, let's get into the writer and the director. The director here is Terry Ingram.
So I love this combo. And as soon as I saw the intro of this, it was like, Wedding Cottage Productions. I was like, oh my God, this is like Ingram and the Berg sisters. Like,
Definitely,
I just knew
yes.
this is that team.
He's directed 5 out of the 6 wedding veils.
And I'm pretty sure the one he didn't direct is one of the ones we didn't like.
Probably. And on top of that, he did 3 Wise Men and a Baby, which we loved.
Bing bing, yeah, he's a heavy hitter.
Yeah.
And the writers here are the Berg sisters.
Yes.
Judith and Sandra. They do not fail us very often.
They're awesome.
They're responsible for all the Wedding Veil movies.
Yeah. They also did a little daytime drama, Christmas Next Door, Harvest Love, all of which I really enjoyed. I liked all of those. The last writing credit goes to Laurie B. Turner. And like the only writing credit I saw, aside from this movie, was The Cookout.
Cookout.
I don't really know what that
I don't
is,
recall.
but okay. And this movie is actually based on a book by Lee Duncan called The Cottage Wedding.
I think Wedding Veil movies were too, weren't they?
They're based on books.
It's very popular for Hallmark screenwriters to kind of take a story and just adapt it for screen. because
Definitely.
It works out.
Definitely.
And on that note, actually, I would just noticed recently that Christopher Palaha has a romance novel. I assume it's a
Oh,
romance
boy.
novel and not like a mystery. Maybe it's a mystery, who knows?
I have no idea, but I just want to read it.
I know, me
I'm
too. So
excited
maybe
about that.
we'll do that and actually do a book review.
Maybe we'll do a book review. Booktube. Let's get on to Booktube.
Did The Wedding Cottage hit or miss the Hallmark for you?
This was a hit for me. It was a hit.
A genuine hit?
A genuine hit. I know.
A real hit?
The Maldives one kind of.
That was
I
a
don't
fake
even know
hit.
if that should have been a hit. It was a very, very soft hit.
Yeah, it was just like we couldn't find enough that we hated about it and we were enjoying watching it. But yeah, definitely.
This was a genuine hit.
This is a genuine hit.
I really liked this.
And this is a hit for me for sure.
Yeah.
So, let's get to the Hallmark report card.
Yes, let's do this. Promotion or deadline? Well, the
Yeah,
wedding.
this is a
so
wedding.
Yes.
Career-driven lead.
Yes.
And both of them.
Big misunderstanding. I would say yes when he thought she was the one that sold him out to the reporter.
Oh, yeah. I found out it was Daryl.
Oh my God.
Change of heart.
Yes.
Of course.
Someone gets dumped, fired, or dies. No.
A second romance subplot.
Well, yes, there's a wedding.
The
so
wedding,
that
yeah,
wedding
that's
couple.
gotta be a thing.
Yeah. A proposal or wedding, yes.
Travel issues.
I don't think so. Except going to Vermont and not seeing the
Yeah, that's
thing
kind of
you
a
went to
travel
Vermont
issue.
for.
Yeah, going to Vermont and not seeing the thing that you wanted to see.
Kind of.
That's an issue.
Kind of, yeah. Selling the house, business, or farm.
No. The big city to small town transition. Yes, but it's more the big state to small state transition.
Yeah, and a small town within that small state, I would say. I don't think they're in the capital of Vermont.
That's the whole thing.
What's the capital of Vermont?
Oh my God. Wait.
Montpellier?
Is it? Echo. What's the capital of Vermont?
Vermont's capital is Montpelier.
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 I said it wrong.
No, you did say it right. It was Montpellier.
Oh, Montpellier.
Can you say that again?
No,
Oh my
shut
gosh,
up.
shush. Okay, good.
They almost kiss.
No,
mean,
but multiple kisses.
Not at all.
The mad dash. Yes, him.
Yeah,
he shows
came-
up at the
shows
wedding.
up at the wedding.
And then they do that dance.
The dash
That
to
was
the
nice.
wedding. Yeah, the dance
nice.
was nice, and I liked how they incorporated that scene with the prosthetic leg thing. We
Yeah.
never got to talk about that.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Can't talk about everything, but we liked this one a lot. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's an easy watch. It's
But
entertaining.
Let us know what you thought of The Wedding Cottage. Did it hit or miss the Hallmark for you?
Let us know in the comments below.
And please don't forget to like, share, and if you haven't already, subscribe.
Yeah, and we'll see you in the next review very shortly.
The next review is A Taste of Portugal.
No.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So yeah, food ones are fun.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next episode.
Bye.
Bye.